Right, so I've just entered the tunnel. There's the far portal. I'm about, I would say, a couple of 100 feet into it. So we're just starting to walk through. I don't know a great deal about the tunnel. I've seen snippets on YouTube about Alfreton Old Tunnel. So I thought I'd get myself down here and have a little look. A bit of a mission to get into it because it's quite well fenced off. And there is cameras because obviously next door is the live railway. But I didn't go on any tracks or anything, so all's good. And we're just coming up now to one of the tunnel vents or shafts, or ventilation shaft I think you call them. And that's interesting. A little sign there, shaft number 3 open. Yeah, and as you can see there's a light up. We'll just have a quick look up, and there you go. That's shaft number 3. There's another couple further down, so we'll keep walking and we'll have another look at the shafts. It is cold down here. I'm surprised how cold it is actually. Like I say, I've not come that well equipped. I've just got a t-shirt on and a pair of stern boots. But we'll just spin around and there's the shaft of light on the floor from the ventilation shaft and the tunnel portal up the other end. So we'll just walk along a bit more. Like I say, I've not come very well prepared. I've only got a tiny little torch, but yeah, I'm only really shining that on the floor just so I don't trip up anything. Yeah, but what a piece of engineering. I don't know if you can make out the roof and the walls, but yeah, I mean, it must have took some building in its day. It must have done. There's not a great deal heeding my progress along this tunnel, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, the floor's pretty solid. It is damp in places, but that's to be expected with being slightly underground. Now, this is my first video upload to YouTube on a tunnel, but I know if it's not brilliant, then I do apologise, but like I say, it was a spur of the moment thing to try and get down here. And I am actually trying to video it on my phone, which is not the best. But like I say, I will look at investing in a decent camera. Something to obviously make this a regular thing. But I just look back, there's the portal in the distance. I would say I'm probably a third of the way through. I would think that's interesting on the walls. If anybody knows what that is, leaking through the walls, I'd actually quite like to know what that is. It's yeah, it feels calciumy, like chalk. Can't really explain what it is. And then there's some writing there. I'm not quite sure what that's for, unless it signifies a leak of some description. And then here we obviously have the refuge for the tunnel workers when the trains come through, which is quite cool. But all in all, the whole tunnel's in pretty good nick, to be fair. I mean, I'm inspired, to be honest, by Martin Zero. Big shout out to Martin and Connor. I'm actually in the middle of doing a research project. I'm finding, well, I say finding, I found the source of the River Sherborne in Coventry, but it actually runs under the city centre. It's culverted for most of its length, so that'd be quite interesting to find out where it comes into the city and where it leaves the city. Yeah, like I say, big shout out to Martin Zero and Connor. They're quite an inspiration to me, actually. Obviously my videos are nowhere near as good as this, because like I say, I'm just starting out, but hopefully we'll get there. If anybody's got any recommendation on cameras, budget cameras, because obviously I want to start with something cheap in case it gets broken or lost or anything like that. Let's have a look here. There's another refuge, which is quite cool. That's brilliant, I like that. And more of that stuff, I'm not quite sure what it is, but it seems to be, it's quite solid. So there's some sort of calcium deposit, I'm not quite sure. But there you go, like I say, it is easy access through the tunnel once you get into it. Not quite sure what that is. Some sort of number marker, if anybody knows, give us a shout. Leave it in the comments below. And then, like I say, we'll just walk a bit further, and there's a shaft of light on the floor here. Oh dear. And yeah, we'll just have a look up at shaft number 2. I mean, how did they build that right up there like that? I mean, that must go up a good 100 foot. Yeah, there's a bit of water dropping down, which has to be expected. And then again, I'll just show you the sign, shaft number 2 open. So I don't know if they were able to close these shafts or open them or whatever. I can actually hear the traffic above me, which is quite surreal actually. But yeah, if anybody's got any information on the tunnel, feel free to leave it in the comments below. Like I say, I'm all new to this, so you know, if you want to leave honest comments about how I could do things better, feel free. But yeah, I'm quite impressed with the whole situation at the moment. I never thought I'd be able to find the tunnel for a start. Found it on Google Maps, and like I say, I'm overnight parking about 10-15 minutes from the actual tunnel. So sorry about that, there's a bit of water. So I thought I'd have a walk down and see if I could find it, to be honest. And I'm quite impressed. There we go, right back up the other end to the other portal. Yeah, like I say, I'm using my camera phone because I didn't come prepared, but I apologise for the quality. But yeah, it's epic. It's absolutely amazing in here. I mean, the brickwork is just, I mean, they're big lumps of stone. I'm not quite sure what stone they are. And then every and again you can see where it changes from the big blocks. I imagine they're granite of some description. And there's a patchwork of brick. Now, whether that's where there's cause for concern, i.e. collapses or what have you, I don't know. But yeah, it's the adrenaline's kicked in a little bit now, because you don't really know how old the tunnel is or anything like that. I mean, it is cold in here. The drop in temperatures are quite noticeable when you get to them. I mean, I would say now I'll just zoom in. I mean, I'm probably a good halfway between the two portals now, but again up there, massive patch of brickwork. Now whether that's where it's obviously in need of repair, but again up there, that's better. That shows it better there. That's unbelievable. But yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, obviously I'm all new to this exploring hobby, so like I say, any information of, especially around the Coventry-Warwickshire area, i.e. bunkers, tunnels like this one or anything like that, be much appreciated. Leave it in the comments below. I mean, obviously it's a good way, and then we look across there and we're at number 14. I'm not quite sure what they're for, whether they're some sort of measure of how far the tunnel is. I'm not so sure, but shortly we'll be coming up on, I think this will be shaft number 1, which is right next to a factory where I collect recyclable materials, to be honest, and I've often wondered what it was for, which led me obviously to come down here and find the tunnel. So I imagine above my head is the factory that I actually deliver into and collect out of, which is quite surreal. Like I say, the floor's not in bad condition. I mean, yes, there's puddles here and there, but yeah, it's good. I'm very impressed with the situation. Yeah, there's a little bit of water on the floor, obviously. I've no idea how deep I am underground. And there we are. That is shaft number 1, which to me is a lot drier than the other 2, to be honest with you. I don't know if you can see it, but there you go. It actually has got a grate on the top, obviously to stop people getting in. Yeah, and again, there's a sign saying that the shaft is actually open, and there's a lot of water. See if I can get a bit closer without getting to what's down there. There's a big RSJ of some description, but you can actually see the water. Try and zoom in a little bit. You can actually see the water running down the walls, which is quite cool. There you go. But yeah, I would say I'm probably 3/4 of the way through. That's the last shaft. So I'm now making my way out. But yeah, it is absolutely amazing. I can actually say my mind has been blown. I know that sounds a bit arsey, but it is what it is. Like I say, I'm all new to this, so any comments or recommendations how I can do this bigger and better. That's the other portal, right up the other end. And obviously the light there is obviously shaft number 1. Yeah, I mean, I do hope it's, you know, the video kind of shows what I'm seeing. It probably doesn't, because like I say, I'm using my camera phone, but this was just a ad hoc thing just to come down and see if I could get into the tunnel, which I could. It is pretty well fenced off. I mean, the gates are open either end, as you can see. I mean, this is a particularly wet bit. I mean, that looks quite deep down there. But yeah, I'm actually quite blown away by this. I can understand why people do this, because the buzz you get to know that you've walked under Alfreton town centre, I should imagine, or I'm not quite sure what's above this tunnel. I mean, obviously there's Clover Nook Industrial Estate. That's where I'm actually parked up overnight. So, like I say, I think shaft number 1 is right next to the factory that I deliver into. But yeah, we're nearly at the far end of the tunnel now, which is quite epic, to be honest. I didn't think it would be in this good a condition inside, to be honest. I mean, I've actually no idea when it was built. I will do some research, but if anybody knows any more, and there's the other portal right up the other end. There is a board up here saying how long it is. I'm just going to shut up because there's actually a train going through the tunnel. See if you can hear the... I mean, that's quite bizarre knowing it's just through that wall there's a live railway line. Yeah, it's quite good. So like I say, we're nearly... You see, there's more of this. It's like I'm not quite sure. It's calcium. It feels like rock, but I'm not quite sure what it doesn't stain anything. I'm not sure what it is, to be perfectly honest with you, but I'm intrigued, and I'm not sure what that means. 1 core, whether that's... I don't know. If anybody knows, comment below, please. And here we are, right at the other end. So I did enjoy that. That was quite an epic way to spend an evening. I imagine it's quite scary when it's dark, but aren't all tunnels? I'll just spin around, and there's the other end, right up the other end of the other portal. I'm not quite sure where that comes out. I know the tunnel passes under the main A38 trunk road from Mansfield to Derby, but like I say, I know absolutely nothing on the tunnel. I just stumbled upon it on YouTube and thought I spend a lot of time in Alfreton work-wise, so I just thought I'd have a shufty through. And here we are coming out the other side, which is quite cool. And then just take a minute for my eyes to settle back down, but yeah, I'm more than impressed with that. Like I say, it gets, I mean, the patchwork of bricks, I mean, I don't know if it's had a collapse. I mean, that's interesting. I didn't really notice that on the way through. I really didn't pay much attention, but I'd like to know what that's for. I mean, behind it, it looks like there's a new course of bricks, so whether it's been put up there to support the brickwork, let me just see if I can zoom in. If you look behind it, the bricks are a different colour. It's actually, so yeah, if anybody knows, like I say, comment below. All comments appreciative, good or bad. And here we are, nearly at the other end. Obviously, like I say, a big shout out to Martin Zero and Connor. They're the inspiration for me doing this in the first place. So, and here we are. I'll just mind that big puddle, and I'll just show you this before I leave the tunnel. So there we are, Alfreton Old Tunnel, 840 yards. That's what I've just walked through. So just have one last look through the tunnel, right down to the portal. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I say, leave your comments below, more than welcome to. And if you have any recommendations of how I can do this bigger and better, I'm happy to take your comments on board. Thank you very much indeed.